Alright, let's see how this goes. Hey guys, I am doing a, what do you call it? I don't know, what do they call it when they do those improvised shows where they, like, don't cut at all? I'm going to attempt to do that today. There's going to be no cuts whatsoever in this video, and it's just going to be a talk. Nothing in particular, nothing really. I guess I just want to kind of ramble and see where it goes. The main reason for this video is I just want to make a longer video that will help boost my watch time a little bit. That's basically it. So it's going to be, I just think of it like a little bit like a podcast, but an uncut, raw, like might be boring parts, kind of a podcast. But I hope you guys will just stick with me and watch till the end. I just really want to get the watch time up. That's the main thing. And I am going to do some more fun things with the little elf on the shelf, which I've been hiding in the background of my videos lately. And you guys are just too good at that game. I see your comments, especially Patricia Lynn. I see you commenting. You always seem to find it. And I'm going to really make it difficult next time. So I'm going to have to look for like a really good hiding place for him. And I'm going to put it there for like a frame of the video. So it's just going to be there and then gone. I'm not going to have it like there for a whole scene, because that's making it too easy for you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to just hang out and like, let's just pretend that we're friends right now. Like we're having a hangout time and we're just talking, because I really feel like I've felt like a lot of pressure lately. I don't know, like a lot's changed in my life over the last few months. I've been through quite a lot of, I guess you could say, like, I don't really even know how to describe it. Like, I've had some really good times and I've had some really bad times. And currently, at the moment, I would say I'm pretty happy. You know, something good's happened to me lately. I'm in a pretty good place. But the last few months have been pretty rough. I haven't been too good at all. And I haven't really felt like I've been able to talk to anybody about that. So for me to just even just talk to a camera, it really does help. It's weird. Like, you know, a lot of people feel like they have nobody to talk to, they have no friends or whatever, and I was one of those people too. I have friends now, like a limited amount, but, you know, it is nice and it does help to talk to someone, and it makes me wonder, like, pretty much all of my, the second half of my teen years, all the way until my mid-20s, I didn't really have any friends, so I don't really, it's like a decade of my life I didn't have friends. And I know I was going through some shit then too, and I just don't know how I, like, was able to cope with it all, and not talk to anybody about it. I guess I did have some online friends, so I guess that's something, where I did, like, talk a lot about my feelings or whatever, or, like, problems I was going through, with, like, online friends. And eventually I just lost contact with my online friends, like, especially after when I went through a breakup. It was just pretty rough, like, having nobody at all. I mean, of course, I have family, but, like, I don't know about you guys, but it's like, in my situation, I feel like I can't talk to my family about certain things. Not that they wouldn't be supportive or help me, they would. I just feel like it's embarrassing, like, to talk to your family about your feelings. Ew. No thank you. I would rather have, like, friends that are more, we can relate on things, and, like, you know, it's nice to have somebody like that. But there was a time when I literally had no friends at all. And now I have, like, some friends, which is something, especially because they're real life friends. And it's nice to have that comfort. Like, I feel better knowing that they're in my life and knowing that I ever did need to talk. They are right there to listen to me. And it's just nice to have that. It's also nice to reciprocate. And, like, if anybody ever needs to talk to me, it's like, it's nice to help people. I don't know, maybe it's a getting older thing, but I've become more of a people person in my later years. um, Now that I've turned 30, a lot's changed about me, the way I view the world. But it did, like, I was thinking this anyway, as I was approaching my 30s, like, I really did start to change my perspective on people and the world and things like that, and it really did change me. And I guess what I want to do now, though, is because, like, lately I've just had, like, a lot going on, but I feel like I haven't been able to talk to people about it, because I guess it's like people are going through their own things. They don't need to hear me whining. And, you know, it's Christmas too. Nobody needs to be, I don't want to be putting a downer on people just because, you know, I want to talk about my feelings, but it's Christmas time. Everybody's, like, happy around me. I don't want to be like the guy that's, like, bringing everybody down, because I do feel like that sometimes. It makes me feel guilty, like I'm just living with this weird guilt that I feel like I ruin things. I think I've mentioned this to you guys before. I feel like I ruin things. I ruin the atmosphere around people, like, because I feel like I do typically bring people down because I am very pessimistic. I'm very negative, and I overthink. I overworry. I'm a very anxious person. I always think something's wrong, or I think something's gonna happen wrong. And, you know, people could be having a happy-go-lucky day, and then here comes big old Mike and just fuck up the day for everyone. So sometimes it's better for me because I hate the feeling of the guilt. So I would rather feel guilt. I would rather just not talk to people about how I feel and just, you know, dwell in my own pit of despair than live with the guilt of bringing somebody else's day down, because I've done that before and it's not a nice feeling. And I know they don't mind. Like, nobody, they always will say, if you ever need to talk, talk. But, like, you don't, sometimes you just feel bad about talking because you know that what you're spewing out of your mouth is just negative stuff. And I feel like sometimes what I'm saying actually makes sense, and it makes them think, like, huh, maybe you're right. What is the point of living and stuff like that? And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be spreading this negativity like sickness, you know, making other people like, it's like contagious. Like, I'm just full of negativeness and I'm just spreading it to other people. I don't want to be that guy. So in a lot of ways, I do choose to just handle things on my own, which usually is not very well at all. Which is why I tend to find comfort in horror movies and just shut myself away from the world and just, you know, surround myself with things that bring me some weird sense of comfort. And, you know, like horror movies, for example. And I think, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you guys, but I feel like this is a very, it's kind of a selfish thing that I do. And the reason why I love to watch horror movies instead of, say, like comedies, which I do love both, but like I will choose horror because, okay, let me put it like this. So I have like, I love comedy and I love horror, but you guys know, like, Adam Sandler and, like, Grown Ups. That's, like, one of my all-time favorite movies ever. It's a comedy. It's a great movie. But I watched that, and it kind of makes me happy at the time that I'm watching it. It is kind of giving me a little bit of a serotonin boost, or whatever that chemical is called that your brain produces. It makes you feel happy. Like, when I'm watching it, I feel happy. But when it's over, I suddenly feel shit about my own life because I look at them, you know, this group of friends that have been friends all their lives. Now they're in their 40s and the dads are still acting like kids and like doing these crazy things on adventures together like they did when they were kids. And I watch that and I think, like, oh, this is so funny. I'm having a good time watching this. And then when it's over, I'm like, my life sucks. Like, why can't I be like them? You know, have friends like them and like go on these crazy adventures like them. And, you know, just have fun, like live life, you know, have a wife and kids, but like also be able to hang out with my friends and get in trouble and do these crazy adventures that they're doing that is like very immature, but it's like, that's what makes it funny. But then when I finish watching it, I just realize it's like, it comes back to me how dark and sad and miserable my own life is compared to what I just watched. And I get that a lot with like when I watch a happy movie on TV. If it's like a happy movie or it's like some kind of love comedy movie, like a love story, I love watching it at the time, but when it's over, it makes me feel shit about my own life. And so I prefer to watch horror movies because I like the adrenaline, I guess. I think that's one thing I am kind of addicted to, is I do love the adrenaline. And although the horror movies, a lot of the time, they don't make me scared, but they make me sad. I feel sadness when I watch horror movies, and I've talked about this before. Specifically, one that I've talked about many times is Janice from Annabelle Creation. She is a character that was very unfortunate. If you don't know who she is, I will tell you. But I've mentioned her many times, especially on my old channel. It is one character that I really, really empathized for, and she had polio, she was an orphan, and she was like attacked and tormented by this demon throughout the whole movie. Nobody believed her. Everyone thought she was lying and whatever. And like, you know, she was such a sweet girl. And when I watch that, I see how sweet and kind and like caring this little girl is. and then she was just dealt such awful cards of life, and she eventually got possessed by the demon, which controlled her all of her life until she committed suicide, which was 12 years later. So this demon was controlling her while she must have been trapped inside of her own body, but the demon was fully in control for 12 years before she committed suicide. And she just had an awful life. And that's one of those characters that I really, really feel terrible for, and it does make me feel bad because, like, Talitha Bateman is such an amazing actress, and she really just looks so scared in that movie, and she really, like, when she cries, you can't help but your heart breaks for her because she's just a little girl. And you just feel so terrible and helpless. Like, you really want to help, but you can't because you can't do anything. And so when I watch that, although it's making me feel shitty about watching it, because it's making me sad and even crying, but then after the movie, selfishly I feel better about my own life. Because I've just watched what real problems look like. You know, this little girl didn't even have a family that loved her or anything. That's all she was wishing for. The only good thing she had in her life was her best friend Linda. And Linda's another girl who I really felt bad for, especially when Janice went missing at the end of the movie. Linda was all alone. She never saw her best friend ever again. And it's such a heartbreaking movie, even though it's a horror movie. It's really sad to me. And after I'm done watching it, I just weirdly feel better about my own life because it's kind of making me think like, oh, your life isn't so bad. Like, you have a house, you have a family, you have nice things. Excuse me. You have what Janice would have literally killed for. So stop your crying. Stop sitting here like a whiny little crybaby poopy pants. And just, appreciate what you have instead of dwelling on what you don't have. And it's kind of a lesson that I get every time I watch that movie, or like most horror movies. They all seem to have characters that I get attached to. And I leave watching the horror movie with that same message. It's telling me, appreciate what I have. My life isn't so bad. That is what problems look like. Sometimes I just need to see it visually to really remind myself, because anybody can say that. Like, I know that my life isn't the worst. I know I'm very, lucky to have a good life. And I know that depression, which I have been diagnosed with, it's a chemical imbalance. It's not like I'm sad. I don't know why I'm sad most of the time. It's not even that I'm sad. I'm just exhausted. I'm drained. I don't know what I want. Like, I feel lost. I feel like time is going on. People are moving on. Everybody seems to be going on, and I feel left behind and forgotten about. It's a feeling of I'm just in the way a lot of the time. It's just a really horrible feeling. I'm sure you guys will relate. But sometimes I just need to, because anyone can say, like, oh, kids in Africa would love to trade lives with you. Stop being such a crybaby. And I know that's true. But it doesn't make me feel better. It makes me feel worse because it adds guilt to how I'm already feeling. Because I'm like, why am I so upset? Why am I this way? What is wrong with me? And watching a horror movie really helps with that. It is kind of like a visual reminder. Like, you see what happened to these people in this movie. Like, they had a bad life, even though it's characters. Like, I'm aware of that too, but like, they had a bad life. They had problems. What you've got, it's nothing. Like, that person in the movie who died, they would love to be you right now. Like, that's the way I think. It helps me. It's a coping mechanism, even if it makes me sound insane. And I guess that's why I'm very much in love with tattoo as well. Like, you guys know I make Tattoo Tuesdays about the band Tattoo, and the reason for that is the same thing. Like, when you watch, Hollywood singers, and they're always like flexing how much money and cars and girls and this and that they have. It's not making me feel better about my life. You bragging and flexing everything you've got in your life, your $1 billion mansion and shit like that in the Hollywood Hills. Like, that's not... I'm listening to your song, I'm watching your music video, and it's not making me feel good about my life. It's making me feel like I'm a failure. I fucked up somewhere along the line. Like, I'm getting nowhere in life. But when I watch ones like Tattoo, who are the two girls that are very much in trouble and despair and, desperate situations in every single song almost. And I think that's why mainly not gonna get us means the most to me is because they are having bigger problems than me. Like, they're in deep shit. They've got the Russian military out to get them and everything. Like, they're on the run. They're fugitives. And, you know, they're running away in the name of love. And when I watch that, it just reminds me, like, you know, if this was real, even though it's not real, but if it was real, they're out there somewhere in, like, Siberia, in the woods, in the snow, freezing to death. Just trying to find freedom. That's all they wanted. While I'm sitting here, nice and warm in my bed, watching it on my freaking iPhone and, like, having a laptop and all the stuff that I have, and I think that I've got problems. You know, I could trade places with them. I'm sure they would like that. Maybe then I'd understand what a real problem is. It is. It's like, I like to watch things where it's not like a sadistic thing. I don't enjoy watching people die in horror movies. I know a lot of people like that. Like, they love the kill count thing and all that. Like, the more gory and twisted the death is, the better for people. I don't really even like to watch gory movies. I like more ghosty, jumpy ones. But I don't like watching the people die. I'm a very empathetic person, and when I watch these movies, horror movies, I will cry in majority of them, like Jeepers Creepers even. That one scene when Derry is getting taken away by the creeper at the end and Trish is running. It just makes me think about me and my sister, like the relationship that me and my sister have, and imagining me and my sister, you know, all the memories of growing up together and, like, seeing each other develop into adults that we are now. Like, what would we be like in that situation? What if it were me that got carried away by the creeper? Like, how would my sister react? And I feel like she would act very similar to how Trish did. And that's why it makes me sad. I get very upset because she just watched her brother get taken away from her. You know, all the Christmases they had together as kids, growing up and things like, all these memories that they would have created if they were real. Obviously, they're fictional, but, like, that's what makes me sad about horror movies, is, like, I empathize with the characters. I don't enjoy the killing or anything like that, but I like to watch it because it makes me feel better about my life, because then I'm seeing what a real problem is. So I guess that's just something that I've kind of learned about myself. I like to watch stuff where people are having, like, a worse life than me, because it makes my life feel better. I don't know. Do you guys ever do that too? Let me know in the comment section. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I don't even know what I was talking about now, but is there anything else I can talk to you guys about? I feel like it's more liberating to just sit here and talk instead of, you know, having to worry about, like, cut and think about what I'm going to say next and then say it as quickly as possible and cut and, you know, trying to get to the point. It's nice to just sit here and just let it all out. Let it flow without any, like, oh, I got to think of something else to say. I got to think of a joke. I just want to be real. Like, we're sitting together right now and talking. It's nice. I don't think I've ever done this before. Just sat here and just been 100% real with you guys. Not even cut the camera once. But yeah, I just feel like I really did need to talk. I've been talking a little bit to my friend today, but I feel like because I was kind of texting her, I didn't really get everything off my chest that I wish. Because you try to, like, I hate texting, so I tried to keep it as short as possible. But I feel like unfulfilled. Like, I feel not satisfied that I said what I said. And sometimes you just feel like you need to say more. But then you just don't have the energy to talk to anybody. Which is another, like, very difficult situation to be in with depression and stuff. Is like, you want to talk, you want to let it out, but you don't want to talk. You don't have the energy to do that. It's just, it requires too much energy to talk. So that's why I thought, you know, if I sit here, just turn on the camera and just let it flow. Just talk about stuff. Get my thoughts off of my chest. It's very freeing. But I've been very confused lately as well. Like, I've been going through some stuff, like a very confusing time, I guess. I feel like I've been, let's just say, given a second chance at something, and I really don't want to fuck it up this time. You know, somebody's come back into my life that I convinced myself I wasn't going to see them again, and I feel happier having this person in my life than not having them in my life. And it's something that I've learned lately. And, you know, it's nice to have a second chance at that, because I really, like, this person really means a lot to me, and I really care about this person. And I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to do anything. I probably didn't even fuck it up to begin with. Maybe I'm just overthinking, but I just want to be... I want this person to be a permanent person in my life. I don't want them to be a seasonal person, which is like, the reason I thought about this is because I saw this TikTok probably a month or so ago, and it was like this guy, he was talking about, like, in life, some people come into your life for a season, some people come into your life forever. But the people that come into your life for a season, no matter how much you want them to be permanent and how much you think that it's going to be forever, if it's not meant to be, it will not be. And after watching that, I was really upset because I thought about this one particular person. At that time, I was convinced I wasn't going to see them again. And I don't know, it was pretty rough because I was genuinely convinced that I wasn't going to see them. They were just one of those seasonal people. They come into my life temporarily and they go again. But I'm determined, because this person's back in my life again, I'm determined this time, like, I am not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let this person become just a seasonal person. It's not going to be a temporary thing. I really want this person to be in my life forever. Like, they mean that much to me. And I really just want to show that. I really want to show them how much I care about them and stuff like that, and just be the best version of myself as a friend that I can be to this person. Let them know that I'm always here for them, and that I will do anything, drop everything for them, and just always support them through life, because I feel like this person is like a 1 in a billion, and I am lucky to know this individual, and I don't want to fuck that up. So that's something I've been really reflecting a lot lately too, like on my past self, how I wished I would have done things differently, how I wished that, you know, or how I handled things, and how I would do it again if I could do it again, how I would do it differently this time, what I did wrong, like what I regret, those kind of things. Like, I've really been reflecting a lot on my past self and trying now to be the better version of myself. And I hope that I'm doing a good job of that so far. It seems like I am. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know how much longer I can go on for. But I might do a couple of these videos and just do, like, a hangout, quick and easy, just sit and talk to you guys. If you guys are interested in that. Maybe make you feel like you have somebody to talk to yourself. Maybe you just need somebody to talk to you. And that's what I could do. Just not turn off the camera, not cut anything, just let it flow. But my battery is dying right now, so next time I'll try to go for a longer video. But I really just wanted to do this mainly just to, 1, get things off of my chest, and 2, just to try to boost my watch time a little bit on YouTube. Just to try to increase my chances of getting monetized and all that stuff later down the line. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say for today, guys. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if you related to any of this. And how are you doing? Like, tell me the truth. How are you really doing? You know, this is a very depressing time of year. So, I'm curious. And maybe got some engagement going with each other, too. If you want to, like, talk to each other in the comments. I do like when you guys start conversations with each other. Maybe you're best friends down there in the comment section and you don't even know it. So, I hope you guys have fun down there in the comments, and I'll read all of your comments. I never always get a chance to reply to all of you, but I do read every single comment. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.